All right, guys, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome to another episode of Smash Times Lead Therapy. I guess this is a real show now. Crazy how time flies. Tonight we have PSA back on. Let's check the chat really quick. I know we had some people in here for a while. Let's see, Katana Mast. I need to ask PSA when the Saber line is coming. It's on the list. In crew, Jesus, Brennan. Nice. So we do have a few people in chat. And the last time they were on, it was before SHOT Show, and they were teasing like crazy. You got to come see SHOT. I thought they were just boasting. And I'm like, come on, guys. You can't have that many new releases and whatnot, this and that. And they did. They absolutely knocked it out of the park. And we'll talk about all that in a little bit later. But for right now, let's bring him on. The one and only Josiah.
Thanks for having us on.
Man, thanks for coming back on, man. I really appreciate it. The last time you were on was before SHOT Show.
It was.
And honestly, it felt like you guys were promising the whole world. And you delivered.
We were holding back we were holding back. We wanted SHOT Show to be a surprise, and I think it was. There was a lot of cool stuff at SHOT.
It was a huge surprise. Like, I was not prepared for the mass stuff you guys had. The STG-44 was a shock to me. That's so cool.
Yep, that one. Cool. I'm excited about the Saber line, to be honest with you. I mean, Cameron's coming on here in a little bit. That's his baby. I mean, the Saber line, the rifle jackals. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we had there. 300 blackout AK. The purists aren't really huge into that, but yeah, I'm going to buy one for myself. I mean, it's pretty cool.
They were not feeling that one too much. What's funny, so I did a video on the booth at SHOT Show, and it crushed on YouTube, and it had over 1,000 comments, like 1,100 comments, and there was a lot of really good, positive comments. Like, everyone was like loving everything they saw, except for one thing. Can you guess what it was? Attached to an AR, a certain rail system.
Zenico clone stuff?
No. The quad rails.
People are loving those things right now.
Man, I tell you, I had so many people go, nah.
I monitor a ton of forums, and I look at what's selling right now. People are in love with our quad rails.
See, me too. I saw it. I saw it, and I'm like, well, that's cool. And everyone's like, oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, but the people who said, oh, it's disgusting, probably bought 3 of them and are like, I mean, it's, they just don't want to admit they're part of the fanboys for it. But yeah, no, we sell a lot of them, and I monitor a lot of different forums, and people are buying them. They're selling real well.
Well, on these forums, what's your favorite forum to kind of ghost and troll on? You have a favorite?
Well, I don't ghost and troll on it, but my favorite forum, and I know I'll get a lot of flack for this one, and it's because part of it is because Jamin and I started the company, and our primary method of advertising was this forum, and it's ar15.com.
Oh,
some people absolutely hate it. I love it. I've made so many friends on there, guys I hang out on a regular basis. We have this every 2 weeks we go to lunch. There's a bunch of guys on there who are local. We have a good time.
I tell you what, ar15.com has almost been the reason I've gotten fired from several jobs, because I will laugh out loud at some of the stupid stuff they put on.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, man. Some of the jokes are so funny.
Oh, I know. Especially when you get to general discussion and some of the stuff opens up and people's like, they're not afraid to say stuff. It's great. It's absolutely great.
Not afraid to
talk. I mean, granted, there are some trolls on there and stuff and some stupid shit, but it's a great forum, and I love it.
Yeah, I used to go on there years ago, and it just cracks me up. Absolutely cracks me up. Mm-hmm. In Crew says, PSA, hearing safe mufflers win. Come on. What aren't you guys making? Jesus.
We already are making suppressors. Nobody's willing to connect the dots. We bought AAC and all the intellectual property. We're cranking them out in Alabama right now.
Uh-oh. PSA ammo AAC comes packaged very poorly. The boxes were all smashed and beat up. Marcus. You know, that can't really be held sometimes to the people shipping. It's actually the shippers. Because I
got to jump in here. Sorry. Somebody said, please say Reddit. No, we ain't going to Reddit. No, nothing Reddit. Reddit it's a cancer. It's a cancer. Okay. So with the AAC packaging, I have passed that along, but no matter how well you package a box, when you're shipping it from here to California, from here to wherever, from Greenville, South Carolina, over to Somerville, South Carolina, Charleston, all depending on who's handling it, it's going to get damaged. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, but no matter how we package it, it's going to get damaged.
So there's one company that is ridiculous when they package their ammo, and I can't believe they give you free shipping when you buy it. And it's God, I want to give them a shout out, but I can't remember the name. SP Ammo, something 5 ammo. They're all over ammoseek.com. Anyway, it comes double boxed with packing peanuts.
Bro,
it's overkill. So yeah. I bought all the 7.62 from them, and since I spent over like $300-400, it came free shipping.
Yeah.
And it came with packing peanuts, and I just sat there and looked at it. I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
it is. But I must say, I hate packing peanuts. And I got to tell you a little story. I'm going off on a little rabbit trail here. But there was a guy. So I deal with part of my job with consumer relations. There was this guy. He ordered, that $99 deal we have with like the dagger frame and a PSA lower. A guy ordered it, had it delivered to his FFL. The FFL wanted to charge him $180 in transfer fees, and for $100, it was $90 per one. But it was because if you he had all kinds of stipulations on it. If you ordered it, this guy had a list of 10 different things they charged $20 for. It was $40 per item transferred. Then if he could have bought it online and purchased it for you, it was $20 per firearm. And then he had all these. If you were between the ages of 18 and 21, which I believe is ageism, I think that's a violation of law. He had a post on his website that it was an extra $20 per firearm if you're between the ages of 18 and 21. And if you had packing peanuts in the package when it arrived, completely out of the consumer's control, he charged $20 extra per firearm. So anyway, I dealt with this guy. We're no longer doing transfers to this guy, but some of these people, it's nuts.
Yeah. So that ammo manufacturer, that double box is SG Ammo. And
yep, they're really good.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're really good people. Yeah.
But to your point, so I bought, like, I order a lot from 2A Warehouse. I pick it up locally, and when I buy it, ships to the house. Most of the time it arrives fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always packed the same way. But sometimes you get it and it just looks like someone's chewed through the boxes. And it's just how whoever's working the night shift, it might get caught in the machine, could get clipped by some forks. I mean, you just don't know. In a warehouse, you don't know what's going on.
A lot of it has to do with the carrier, and it turns into a football by the time you get it. And
have you seen some of these carriers? I mean, if you order 1,000 rounds of 5.56, and you got a tiny little person delivering this box, they kind of kick it and slide it along. I mean, it's not their favorite thing to deliver, I'm sure.
I know. Yep. But for the number of packages that we do ship out through, not we, but through sister company AAC, the amount of fallout is very minuscule. But that being said, they have listened, and M1 Garand.
It's probably on your brother's whiteboard somewhere.
It definitely is H&R. We were actually talking a little bit about that, but yeah, that's on there. But
nice. Yeah. All right. So the last time you were here, you had a fellow Pennsylvanian with you.
Yes.
Let's bring him back. He just got in here. Without further ado, the man behind the curtain that does probably a lot of the heavy lifting at PSA. But
heavy lifting? He can't lift shit. He's just the brains. He's the brains. I'm the brawn.
I'm trying to build
Josiah. Josiah.
Yeah, Cameron, what?
Josiah, I will toss you down the hallway faster.
Good thing we work in different buildings.
That's right. Yeah, you're lucky. Next time you come to my building.
Welcome to the show, man. I was trying to build you up.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, last time we were on, you guys were teasing so much stuff, and then SHOT Show delivered 1000% delivered, and
I told you
it was nuts. I mean, you had a really good crew out there. You had Max, Tom, what's that other guy's name? Matt.
Yeah, Matt Crowley.
Yeah. He has no legs. He just does. All he does is upper body when he lifts. He's got chicken legs.
Well, I wasn't really checking out his legs, but I'll
Well,
be sure to tell him.
If you see him, he's got chicken legs. All he does is worry about his shoulders and his arms because that's all he cares
I was gonna
about.
say Cameron might be working at Black Rifle Coffee with all the new stuff. Just kidding.
No comment.
That's a whole thing going on.
How about
17 slides. NC shooter. So the full size dagger, when is that coming out? Because that was a real hot topic. Everyone really liked that idea.
Cameron and I, neither of us work in the pistol aspect. That's in a different facility about 2.5 hours away. That's a good question. That's something we can get back with you on. I know, we're going to get to that. I mean, we've got the full, the 17 round, the frames that can have a 17 round magazine. There's a lot of stuff coming. So just please be patient with us, but there's a lot of stuff coming. And I'm even the ones with the comps on them and stuff, a lot of stuff coming.
Nice. And I hope this is on a whiteboard somewhere is the PSA 1911s, double stack 9s. I mean, come on. Would be, double stack 9mm. I said last time you guys are on, that's the new hotness, man. Everyone wants that gun because it's so easy to shoot. Yep. Hopefully it's a year away.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of projects. We can do anything, but we can't do everything at the same time. So,
right,
you gotta just, we got a lot of cool stuff coming too. We did a lot at SHOT Show. A lot of stuff I was teasing the last time we talked. We showed you guys what we were working on. So now the goal is to bring all that stuff to light. 2023. Some of the stuff is 2024, but get it out 2023, and then and next SHOT Show we got a whole bunch of other stuff.
All right, we got Carolina EDC Reviews. What's up, buddy? And then NC Shooter says, I live in Charlotte, and I heard y'all bought a shopping center in Pineville. Is that true?
Well, we have a store that's open in Denver. I've heard of a rumor about that, but nothing I can confirm or anything.
I'm still waiting for you guys to open up Houston.
I'm not sure on that. The whole Charlotte thing. I heard a rumor of something, but I can't confirm or deny. I don't know.
Mr. Big Kid says PSA 50. Time to roll out the 50 BMG from PSA. Josiah.
We do high volume stuff, so I don't think that's going to be high volume.
That would be pretty sweet.
But good thinking, though. That would be cool.
But you see a big picture. If PSA is making it, it's going to be such a good, fairly priced product. Everyone can afford a 50.
True.
Yeah.
So PSA made it. They will come.
True.
I'm hoping that'd be pretty sweet though. A 50 cal for under 1,000 would be sweet.
We'd have to start making the ammo for it too.
I don't know how you're gonna do that for under 1,000, but
yeah.
Let's see. PSA budget AR-15 are the best. Thanks. Got an AR-15 for $450. Thanks for helping me exercise my 2A amendment rights.
That's what we do. We build freedom.
And that's what it's all about. Now, everyone's in here and we all want to talk about guns and cool stuff like that. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, that brace rule. So, Josiah, can you go, where does PSA stand on this brace rule? Companies like CMMG and all these other companies are starting to come out. And maybe you guys just weren't advertising, but you guys are kind of leading the fight on your own direction.
We are, yeah. So CMMG filed a case in the 5th District. And then we are part of FRAC, F-R-A-C. It's the Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition. We're a member, and we're also on the board on that one. And we filed in the 8th Circuit. And so the ATF was due to respond, I believe it was yesterday or today. I haven't heard anything. But we're waiting, and an injunction was filed as part of the suit. So we feel we've got of all of them, CMMG and us, we both have extremely good cases, and hopefully an injunction with the next couple weeks. I don't know for sure, but hopefully we'll see an injunction come. But who knows? But that'd be nice if it did. But that was part of the lawsuit.
Outstanding. I tell people, they're crawling. Some people are like crawling the walls with this thing. I said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, and I am, I'm pretty sure it's going to fall apart because.
And that's what we're hoping. And when I say 2 weeks, that's just a random guess. That's just throwing, that's just random. Don't quote me on that. That's nothing official. It's just, with the ATF getting ready to respond and stuff, and we feel we've got a really good case. Who knows? It could be, who knows what'll happen, but we feel we've got a really good case.
Yeah. Outstanding. Thank you, PSA, for all you do. Please give my regards to your brother. And we got to keep the mission going, man. Putting an AR in everybody's house. I mean, it's what we do. It's great. Another one, wishing for a PSA 2011 soon. See, where are the PSA 1911s? Discontinued.
No, we still make some of them under the custom series, but we got some other stuff in the works. It's on the whiteboard. It's coming.
Steve says high volume, 50 BMG. I'm good with that. I think that would be a seller. As long as it's not blowing people's face off. I mean, we'd be all right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through. You want to talk about the Saber line, right?
We can.
Because that was hot, man. That was a real hot ticket. People commented right and left on that. I mean, besides the Dagger platform, I think that was number 2. Everyone wanted to get their hands on.
Yeah, so, that and the STG 44.
So the Saber rifles.
Yep.
When is that going to come out and we can get our hands on it?
It came out last week.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
last Monday.
God dang it! So I stopped opening the PSA emails because I'm getting in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. No, so we don't have so it's a whole catalog, right? So when we usually launch a gun or a new product, it's like 1 or 2 SKUs, right? Like when we did the Jackal, it was just that one, basic black pistol brace, right? This one is a catalog, right? So it's multiple variation, multiple layers of it, right? So you have the mil spec, you have the billet, but then we're also doing complete lowers, complete uppers, build kits, parts, the whole shebang. It's going to be an entire catalog. So we don't have the full catalog quite built out yet because we still don't have all of everything ready. But we did a launch. I mean, I think we launched with 98 SKUs last Monday.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so, now it's a matter of trying to replenish a lot of that because it sold really quick. Obviously the first couple days, but it's doing really well. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's outstanding.
Yeah. So, like I said, we got a lot of stuff still coming. So it's every week is going to be continuously new flavors, new rails, new rifles, billet series stuff. There's just so much still coming with it. We just don't have it all ready just yet. So some of the rails we showed off at SHOT Show, our timed rail system or some of the suppressor rail stuff we don't have them ready yet. Some of the stuff's at anodizing right now, waiting to get anodized and machined. So there's just still a lot of, stuff on the way.
So before you guys do a launch, do you guys just kind of look around going, man, do we have enough yet? Should we wait a couple days or just
do it? So the original plan was, so I started working on the Saber line in June. And we wanted to kind of just revamp it and just kind of, we build ARs all day long, but how do you make it different? I feel like in 2023, if you're not trying to push the needle or try and, give the best value to the customer or come out with something new or new rail, new design, new something,
100%.
You're just not there. So you have to keep trying to push that envelope. So like I said, I started working on it in June. The original thought was keep it under wraps. Don't talk about it, tease it a little bit, do your things, but try to launch it at SHOT Show. But at the same time, we wanted to do it the right way and not the fast way. So we held off a little bit and we were like, well, let's talk about it at SHOT Show, announce it at SHOT Show and be like, hey, it's going to be for sale next month. And everyone's like, oh, is it really going to be for sale? Is it really going to be for sale? We're like, yeah, it's going to be for sale. So February 28th, it went up on the website, launched it. We wanted to try and do some cool content with it. We got it out to some people's hands. To tease it, talk about it. you know, we did a lot of like teasing leading up to it, you know, of our behind the scenes footage and like, you know, just cool pictures, B-roll and stuff like that. So, yeah, but it went really well.
Yeah, I took most of the end of February off for my day job. So I had 2 conferences back to back. So like I've been traveling and I've been out of the loop, but I've tried. I always like opening the PSA ads and seeing the daily deals. And it drives me nuts because I just want to keep clicking yes. And I know I can't, or I'll get divorced because my wife will kill me.
Yeah. So it's like its own like landing page. So it's kind of like a different feel when you go to it. You know, it's not just like a standard looking PSA website with your normal stuff. It's, you know, got cool lifestyle images built into it. And we try to do it a little differently. Instead of doing like, I'm a visual guy. So instead of doing like paragraphs, like explaining what the gun is, because I feel like if you try to explain the gun in a paragraph, people are just going to lose it and not pay attention. So I just did a picture and just drew out like what was different and what was cool on it, you know?
Nice. And if people want to look for the Saber line, just go to the website. It's the main, main giant
right there
thing. It says Saber. So click on it and you can look into it. And contrary to what they said in your comments, Michael, the quad rail sold very well.
Really? I thought it was cool. I thought it was like, hey man, I haven't seen one of those in forever. I used to have one. I thought it was kind of cool.
I'm a quad rail guy. I'm
a lot of people in the comments and then like, why?
The quad rail is the most popular one. This is the one I can't keep in stock.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's 100%. What I was telling you.
Can you ballpark a number of how many you sold? Just average. Just curious.
I mean, I don't even know because I mean we have rifles, uppers, lowers, and then we have billet rifles. So I don't know. I can't like it's just all over the place.
I was excited for it. I thought it was cool.
I mean it's all over the place. So it's like hard to say. Okay, well this category did this. Well this category did this. This category did this, and then you put it all together. I mean,
yeah, we'd have to bring merchandising, get them to run a report. We really don't know.
So we. Let me put it this way. We had 98 SKUs to launch, and I can't put 30 of them back in stock because I sold out of everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you knew that was going to happen. I mean, you guys had such a hot – I mean, it's such a hot gun. I mean, it's going to be great.
Yeah. We try to do something cool. You know, we got a lot of stuff still coming. So, you know, I reached out to like Surefire and Silencer Co. because, you know, I see people online like say, hey, I bought a 14.5 barrel. I need to send it to a gunsmith to get it pin and welded with my suppressor mount. Well, instead of them doing that, we're going to offer it from the factory like we do on our AKs. Like, you know, on the AK side, we do mainly dead air stuff because that's the main stuff made for AKs. But on the Saber side, we're going to be doing pin and weld Surefire war comps from the factory. We're going to do pin and weld Silencer Co. ASR mounts from the factory on 14.5 barrels. You know, like that. We're going to try and take care of the consumer so they can just buy it and out of the box, it's ready to go. You know, we're going to give it to you at the best value you can get on the market.
Nice. All right. Someone in the chat, Jeremiah says, any info on steel case ammo production?
It is. I was just at the ammo plant just under 2 weeks ago. And yes, it's coming. It's coming.
You know,
be patient.
Those machines does take a little bit of time.
Good things as far as like that don't happen overnight. Please be patient with us. It is coming. I've seen proof of it. Summer, if not into or early fall, just be patient with us. It'll be coming.
Primer plant update.
Primer plant. I wish done? So the primer plant has been built. So hopefully it'll be fully operational here soon. But I passed by it when I was there just under 2 weeks ago, and it is fully built, and it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Somebody's going to do a meme of Josiah staring out at the Death Star. Hope one day it's going to be fully operational. Sorry.
Very soon it will be fully operational.
Saber line's out and it's sold out already. Most are sold out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't get it back in stock right now. We're working on
it. Jose said I would buy a PSA bar. That'd be pretty sweet.
We got a lot of cool stuff we're planning for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Clayco 47 steel ammo. I want it now.
We're working on it, Clayco. Get my gun full auto, and let's do a meltdown first.
Right? Right? Oh man, that would be pretty sweet. Let's do it. I'll hold the sign. Let's see. All right. So we did have a few other. Okay. So Max did the SCG spiel. He had it down pat. And that poor guy, he did a good job. But you could tell he stood there for all those days just getting grilled by everybody.
It was, and that was actually built, at our factory. We built that. So,
and those are out now. When?
Not right now.
No, they're not. They're not out.
Easy.
Are they not even
honestly, like
Christmas?
best guess, probably early next year at best. At best. Obviously the goal would be obviously sooner, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we're, sometimes we talk about releasing stuff a little too soon. So I just want to make sure that we are realistic in the time frame of saying like, hey, listen, we got some work to do. We want to do some cool things with that. Also improve some things. So I know the engineering team's working on all that, hard right now, but the goal right now is, we're trying to get the 13.7 Jackal, the rifle Jackal's out now. And then the Crink is also in there too. So that's, the big push right now.
Yeah.
And also I do want to address with HMG, a lot of people, and this might come up, especially when people watch the podcast later on. HMG obviously, they pre-sold quite a few over the years since 2016, 2017. Those will be fulfilled with the HMG, with their logo on it and stuff. And then once those are fulfilled, then it's all going to be under our umbrella, all of them. So we're going to supply them with the ones for the back order. So yes, if you currently have a back order, it will be fulfilled by HMG, and then we're going to take over everything. We'll be building them, but then we'll be selling everything from there on out under our brand.
Nice. Rob Wells says, what's the opening date for the Myrtle Beach location?
Any day now. We were just talking about that today at the director of retail. He was just in my office. So hopefully April-ish. We'll see. But we've got the hopefully April-ish for the store, and then the museum will be closely behind that.
Museum?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Lots of cool
museum
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's the museum all about?
So Jamin, Josiah's brother, has a ton of like historic, really cool, not just guns, but artifacts, bringbacks and everything like that.
With paperwork. Almost every gun he has paperwork with it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome to see, I used to be like his personal guy that took care of it all for him. So it was always sketchy, like opening it up because I didn't want to damage or break anything. And then you're like holding some kind of like swastika thing in your hand. You're like, oh God, I got to put this down. But he's got some really cool stuff. So yeah, Josiah can touch base on it too, but like, he's got this is like his passion, right? Like we're a bunch of gun guys, like true through and through. And so he's super like, he wants to, tell the story of the history of like what these guys have been through and what they went through and talk about and show it off. And so he's been collecting these, and he had that book from when he was a kid that had like all I don't know what the book's called, but it has like every gun in it from World War I, World War II. And he's been basically working on getting every single one, checking one off at a time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So, he's got some originals, he's got like all kinds of bring back stuff, not just guns, but like an engine, right? Or something, right? Like,
and he's also bringing in some other interesting artifacts, we'll call them, from some movies to bring in some
Hollywood.
Some Star Wars. There was something at auction that I heard sold for over $1 million. We might or might not have that in the museum.
Did he buy a Hans blaster?
Possibly. I don't know. You connect the dots.
First. Everybody, Han shot first. Don't watch the PC remake. Man, now that's cool. So the museum is going to be in Myrtle Beach?
Yep.
It will be. There's a second floor. It's going to be on the second floor above the store and range.
Oh man.
It's going to be a true kind of like Battlefield Vegas. They have their own market. Ours is going to be a true tourist attraction.
Oh yeah, I mean, sign me up already. I'd love to. I've got my Indiana Jones hat on right now. Let's go. Yeah, it's great. It's funny. I had a subscriber reach out to me, and he let me shoot a World War II German pistol issued to the whole police force, but it had like, the swastika. It had matching magazines, and it looked like it was made yesterday. It was flawless, and I got to shoot 2 rounds through it. Man, I was shaking. I didn't want to drop it because he goes, "Oh, it's like 14,000, no big deal." I'm like, "Oh, that's a big deal. It's a big deal for me."
Yeah, there's some really cool guns. I mean, I think it's truly, I think what Jamin is doing, I think it's going to be truly like a destination. I mean, it's in Myrtle Beach, so it's a tourist destination anyway. And so, I think people are going to really travel to come see what he's got going on. There's some really cool history in there, man. Like reading some of the papers and the guys and like what they're bringing, and it's neat.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I would love to go check that out as soon as it's open. When you have your grand opening, man, I'd love to come out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's right, just so everybody knows, it's right along the main drag on 17.
Nice.
Right in the middle of all the shopping.
I could drop off the wife and the kids and then go look at guns all day.
Yep. We made a lot of that. Yep.
Jose said a PSA truck gun branded Texas edition would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. Texans love buying shit that has Texas written on it.
Yeah, then we open up the floodgates and we'd have to make one for every other state.
Except for New York and California.
Yeah.
No, no one's going to buy it in California.
Yeah. Well,
let's see.
Maybe soon.
Yeah, valid.
Let's see. Carolina EDC said he's going to go on his own vacation. Nice. Drop it like it's Scott's in here. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Scott?
No question for me, but wanted to say I think PSA is doing a badass job with AKs. You guys are making it here in the U.S. and coming from a diehard import guy. I will get a GF5 someday soon. You better will. And I think that's what's PSA is really breaking down the barrier between the hardcore AK people. I hope Clayco's not in here. He might hop in and be like, "You liar." But I think, it's PSA is way more accepted than other manufacturers, 100%. Like I've shown that GF5 I had hanging up last time, and everyone thought it was like they wanted. You could tell when they were picking it up. These purists are like they wanted to dig at it, but they're like, "This is really well made." And they shot it, and they're like, "It's nice." But they couldn't say they couldn't talk shit about it. That's the great thing. Even the purists,
especially with like the torture tests that I believe it was JMac did on the GF5 and stuff.
They could not kill it. I was watching them. They sure tried. And then when the barrel twisted, he went over to a tree and started hitting it against the tree to straighten up the barrel.
Yeah.
That was funny. A-Dub says it next to the Kenny Powers Museum. I don't know.
No.
Kenny Powers. Is PSA considering a firm or afterpay at checkout?
Is that payments?
Yeah, we used to have it. I don't know what happened.
We used to have Cordova.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there's a solution that we're considering. I'll just leave it at that. I work in e-com, and there is a solution that we're considering, but I'll just leave it at that.
Any chance of a store coming to Arizona?
No. So let me tell. So the method behind the stores. Okay, a lot of people ask this. We try and keep stores in areas where we have a manufacturing presence. South Carolina, obviously, we've gone up into North Carolina, down into Georgia, and who knows, maybe we'll go down into, we've got some manufacturing presence down in Jacksonville and stuff. Who knows, maybe someday. But as far as, where we've expanded to manufacturing wise, because we've got a natural travel presence to go down there to monitor what's going on with stores and whatnot. My understanding is that's the logic behind what stores we open and where. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be local for for foreseeable future.
No Texas. Dang.
I couldn't even imagine
Texas. You got to buy some kind of manufacturer in Texas. That's all there is to it.
I couldn't even imagine trying to fulfill stores out that far.
Jeez. We can't even friggin' fulfill our own stores in South Carolina.
Yeah, we can't keep the stuff in stock in Columbia right down the road.
Nice. So what is the on the Saber line? What's the price point on those rifles?
Most of them are under, almost every single one's under 1,000. There's a couple that creeped up over 1,000 because of the billet stuff's a little bit more expensive.
Right.
But everything's is pretty much sub 1,000. Some of
You're supposed to say $1 million.
No. So the goal was to try and keep everything under like sub $1,000, right? That was the whole point of it. So, but the billet stuff and some of the rails are just like the 2-piece quad rail is expensive to make. So, that one, and then the barrel, and then the JMac comp and all that stuff. Once you add all that stuff up, I mean, the margins are really, really tight on the billet stuff, but, everything Saber, mainly like 99.9% of it is under $1,000. And then especially when you want to just do the upper and the lower separately, you can do that. Or if you just want to buy the upper, you can buy the upper.
Right. Everyone in the chat, please, if you have comments for Palmetto State Armory, post them in the chat. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to ask whatever you want. But this next question is highlighted on my notes, and this is something that I want to get as soon as it ships. And Mike said it would be shipping end of March, and it is the M16A1. That's what I want to hang permanently behind me on my wall. So I think that is one of the coolest guns, and it looks the coolest. So that's what I want to get, the M16A1. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been back there, and it's like pulling teeth to get guns out of Mike. That's jabbing Mike, but no, he's actually doing a good job right now of actually producing complete guns, and you'll be seeing a lot of that stuff very soon. He's already had quite a few, not gray anodized, but black anodized guns. Some like an A2, I believe it was an A2 A1 mixture, and but you're going to be seeing that stuff really soon, very soon.
Out of all the guns, I might get some flack for it, but out of everything I saw, that's the one I wanted the most. When I saw that sitting there, I was like, man, I got to get one of those because Clyco is doing that Lethal Weapons event, I think next weekend. Yep. Shout out to Clay Owens, Lethal Weapons.
It's this weekend.
Yeah, is it this weekend coming up? 11th?
I think so.
Oh, it is this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going Sunday. So I wanted to grab that and go try and shoot a competition with it because I thought it'd be really cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, those guys and the H&R side, man, those guys work their butts off every day. I mean, they're in there with hand files and just cleaning everything up to make these guns perfect, like for the customer, man. I mean, it's truly a work of art what those guys are doing. They're taking their time. So, obviously the volume is not as high as what PSA is, but they're spending a lot of time because they're really trying to focus on the end user and really trying to bring back to life these guns. And so they're trying to make them as perfect as they can be for these customers. So it's just, it takes time. These guys, they're working their butts off in there. We're trying to help them out when we can and all that good stuff.
The demand for them, I knew there would be demand, but the demand is a lot higher than I ever expected, especially for,
so hot
price.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. 10 millimeter dagger. Not that I'm aware of. That'd be cool though.
Spiker inventory. That's something. Josiah, I was on the phone with you trying to finagle one out of you. I was like, look, I'll pay full price. I just want to get one. And then for like 4 days after, I was looking online, nothing. So I was like, God dang it.
Yeah. So, we're working on turning some more barrels for those right now. But I mean, they're hard to build, man. I mean, they're just hard. Like it takes more time and effort to go into those. We try and, kind of like what Mike's doing on the H&R side, like taking their time, like we're going through, we're trying to clean up like the receivers. A lot of times during the forming process of the receivers, you'll see like little, just like dings and scratches and stuff like that come into the sheet metal receivers. And, we're taking time, we're buffing them out, we're cleaning them up. It just takes time. I have like one guy that all he does is sit there with a buffing wheel and a pad and clean them all up. And so they're not high volume AKs. Again, AKs are not really high volume to begin with, but we do a really good job of doing that. They just take a lot, they just take time to do.
Right. Are you guys like fully staffed? Are you guys looking for people? And then what's your vetting process? Because I'm kind of curious, like when you hire someone to come in, what kind of tests do you guys
do? You like freedom?
Make sure he just knows what he's doing.
Do you like
train him
guns
from scratch?
Do you like freedom? No, we have a lot of guys that went through SDI. We also have guys that did some other gunsmithing schools. I got a lot of, I hire a lot of veterans. I mean, we got a lot of veterans that work for us in the manufacturing facility, a lot of gunsmith guys, like I said, and girls. I mean, we got some of the best people. I mean, they really genuinely care like what they make, like the Jackal guys, for example, right? So, we have Jackal guys. That's all they do is they build Jackals every day, right? That's all that they do is they build Jackals, and they build some Saber stuff now. They are on the Facebook groups and on Reddit and the forums, like just looking around and like looking at feedback, like, like bringing up, like if someone's complaining about something, like they'll come up to me on the floor and be like, hey, I saw this guy's post. What do you think about doing this? Or, hey, can we tweak this? Can we do that? Like these guys truly care about what they're doing every single day. Like we have a bunch of gun people, like gun nuts, like in our facility.
Outstanding.
Hey, I want to address Rob Martin's question there. The Gathering, yes, very excited about that. March 24th, 25th. People don't know what The Gathering is. It is an outdoor shooting event. You have vendors. We call it Vendor Village, but you got a ton of vendors who are out there. They sell stuff. They just display what they have. But actual companies that are going to have shooting bays, and you're actively going to. It's for regular consumers. Media is welcome as well. So there's a mixture, but regular Joe Schmo can come up, and I'm going to read off real quick who is going to have a bay or be sharing a bay, just so people can get an idea of. It's pretty cool. So here it is: primary weapon system, Bushmaster, Riker, CNC triggers. Maxim Defense, Century Arms, EOTech, Dead Air, Shadow Systems, Shaw Arms, Silencer Central, HK, Hyperfire, Stoger, Taurus, Beretta Benelli, Stoger, Franke, Live Free Armory, Arms Corps, DPMS, PSA, H&R, Leadstar, AAC, IWI, Glock, Rugged Suppressor, Sig Sauer, Loophole, Springfield Armory, Trigicon, Christensen Arms, Warren, Swarovski, and Barrett. Those are just the ones who are going to be there with active live fire ranges, let alone the people in Vendor Village. So it's a good time. If you live within a couple hours, come down. It's fun.
That's a husky lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's really Josiah's skipping ahead. We were going to close the show with, but it's okay. No, so I noticed I getting ready for this show and for the last one, I went on there to try and find some content for The Gathering, and there's not a whole lot out there. Like I was on YouTube, kind of cruising around. I'm like, man, so all these stupid influencers that you tell come out, make sure they make some videos, man. Let's go.
I know. I got to be honest with you. I mean, for all these influencers, like there's a list of 800 some that I send out. About once a week, I send out like, hey, we're having The Gathering. Sign up, come. Not that many actually come. If you want good content, come. We've got you can get NRA and SHOT Show. Yeah, SHOT Show range day is really chaotic. The Gathering's not near as chaotic. You can get really good content and talk to people one-on-one as far as influencers as well as regular Joe Schmo can come. It's a great time. I'm trying
to make it out for that because my mom is sick. So depending on how her chemo goes, we'll decide if I get to go. But I got a plane booked. I'm just looking for really a ride from the airport. So hopefully I can make that happen.
Let me know when your plane's coming. What airport you flying into? Let me know. I'll pick you up.
My wife has that information.
Yeah, let me know. I'll pick you up.
Nice. All right. Now I have to go. Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Well, because like for my regular job, I just spent a week out in LA, unfortunately, and then I did the CMMG thing, and then SHOT Show was really fun, but I got to go out there for a week, and then man, I'm kind of burning up my juice, and then I just booked an NRA show, so I want to go up there and check that out again. But man, it's pricey. It's kind of pricey to go to all this stuff, but I think my wife
write it off. Come on.
I think my wife's enjoying it because it's her time with the kids, and I'm not here. Yeah. Like she was really encouraging me to go to The Gathering. She goes, "You should definitely go. You told them you would go. You got to go." I'm like, "Well, now you're right. I got to go."
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other? We already went over that. Full size release date is unknown. They will get back to us. PSA MP7. Anything? Any word? Any news?
Cameron's eyebrows are going up and down, so we'll just leave it at that.
I'm dying to see these whiteboards your brother has. I really want to see.
You'll never see him. You'll never see him.
I got a lot of gray hair.
Right. Well, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm close.
Yeah. So the gathering.
What's keyword husky? Hold on. What's that? What's the backstory on that?
I don't know. Maybe that's me.
I don't know.
I call it tactical girth. Everyone else. I call it, you got to be ready. Tactical girth. I got that from the sticky holster guy.
Yeah.
I passed on the NRA and chose the gathering.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that.
I know. I want to do both. I'm definitely going to do both. Joe Morris, my dad just traded his King Ranch F-150 for a Honda Ridgeline. I'm a Honda Ridgeline fanatic. Like I have number 5 sitting in the driveway. I am fanatic about that. Almost.
If it ain't a Chevy, I don't drive it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's broken down.
Yeah, right.
NC Shooter AK and 5.45.
We have an entire section on our website of them. Go buy one right now. Go. You better tag me on Twitter too, because I see you all over there. So you better tag me on it when you buy one.
Oh God, not sticky holster again. Whatever, man. Sticky holsters rock. Hey, so are you guys gonna have like your own holster line? Do you guys have a holster line?
No, we're relying on other companies to supply holsters. That's kind of we're letting other companies. That's their thing. We talked to quite a few companies when we were at SHOT Show, especially the pistol operations manager guys and the engineers, and so we're going to let other companies make holsters. Then we might get something branded for us, but we're not going to get into the holster game.
I mean, okay, so let me ask you what's next. Just what's next? Like Josiah, if you're sitting in your house, you're like, man, it'd be cool if we could do this. What was the last thought you had where you're like, it'd be cool if we could do that? The questions for you too.
M1 Grands and M14s under the H&R line, but that's going to be a long ways out.
Dang.
So like I told you earlier, the goal is to get this stuff out in 2023 that we showed at SHOT Show, right? That's like the main goal. But going into 2024, that STG 44 was the first showing of the historic battlefield series, right? So there's going to be other stuff that are going to fall under that category, to kind of bring back and tell the stories, and just kind of like the museum mindset is that we want to tell the story of what some of this, people went through.
All right. That's good. So it's a series. You guys heard that, folks. So the STG 44 was a first of several things that may come out in the next year or two.
Yep.
That's a fair statement.
Yep.
Battlefield series. All right. Everyone stew on that, and then we'll pass for them next year when they come back on.
I see the one guy asking on here about the Ambi complete lowers. We're not going to, so for the Saber line, the billet series are only going to be sold as a set. So the last couple times that we've done billet in the past, like 4 or 5 years ago, we had people where we did the lowers and the uppers separately, and then they complained about fitment on mil-spec uppers or mil-spec lowers. And so we're only going to be selling those as a set. So you'll only ever be able to buy them as a complete gun, or like the receiver sets. We're selling the receiver sets online. That's the only way we're ever going to sell them. We're not going to be doing any lowers or uppers as completes or anything like that.
Nice. Joseph Allen, what's the pistol brace? We already went over that. PSA is absolutely against it, and they're supporting other stuff. Rewind.
Just do a real brief. We are a member and on the board of FRAC. It is, for those of you who don't know, it's the Firearms Regulatory Accountability Coalition. We filed in the 8th Circuit. CMMG has a great case as well that's filed in the 5th Circuit. Part of that, we're waiting on a response from the ATF. Early this week, it was supposed to come. Both of us filed for injunctions. Who knows what'll happen? But I think A stay would be a hope for me personally. I have no idea what's going to happen, but if a stay happened within, next 2-4 weeks, something, that'd be great, but we don't know. We have no idea. So we're just waiting.
This is actually a good question from NC Shooter. Layman's terms. I know the difference because I bought the GF5 just because I wanted the cooler barrel. But what are the difference between the 3, 4, and 5?
So the GF3, GF4, GF5. Okay, here's the rundown. The bolt, carrier, and trunnion are all the same. So they're all 4340 aircraft quality trunnions, hammer forged bolt, and hammer forged carrier. The difference is going to come down to the trigger and the barrel. So on a GF3, you're just going to have your standard trigger and your nitrided barrel. Now, we do have offerings that come with an ALG trigger when they're like tricked out with rails or different options. But the standardized GF3 is just your standard, standard AK trigger. Your GF4 is the in-house cold hammer forged chrome line barrel with a EPT trigger. And then your GF5 is your FN cold hammer forged barrel with ALG trigger and clean rod. That's standard for the GF5 series. Every single GF5 is going to have a cold hammer forged FN barrel and an ALG trigger and a clean rod.
Yeah, I love that gun. It's my second favorite, but this AKV is my absolute favorite. When I want to go just blow stuff up all day, it's the AKV.
Yeah, we're about to have a 13.7 GF5.
What?
Yeah. So we did the 13.7 in the GF3, and then we're about to have a 13.7 in the GF5.
Nice. Joe Morris says, the Type 56 offerings was a very nice effort. I love my old poly double folder. Very good. Gulf Coast Local says, are the Sabers QC to make sure everything is tight in the spec, test fighter? Come on. Is that a serious question, buddy?
Yeah. So, I mean, every gun we have, is test fired. Every single one is test fired. We shoot 5 rounds through every single gun. Now on the AR side, on the AK side, we shoot more rounds. We shoot 10 rounds through every single AK. The AKV gets almost 25 to 30 rounds because we're tuning those extractors every single time. The 5.45 and the 5.56 AKs, they get almost a full mag every single time because the ejector height is super important and the ejector location is super important because it's a small case. So you have to be very critical in that. So we're watching for ejection patterns. So we're shooting more rounds through it. But yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, the mil spec line, I saw someone the other day that got their Saber mil spec and they're like, oh, well, it's got a little bit of a wiggle. I mean, it's mil spec. I mean, it's kind of,
I've seen some mil spec guns that are clank back and forth.
I mean, it's not as bad as like some of the stuff I've seen, obviously, but it is a mil spec. Now, the billet sets, we do have the screw underneath the safety area, so that way you can tighten it down if you want to get up the slop. So it's a little bit more of a tighter fit on the billet series. And those are obviously billet, so they're a little bit different machine. They're not made out of a forging, so you can control a lot better. And so, the billets are going to be a lot tighter of a fit. If that's one of your concerns, is you don't want, if you don't want that little wiggle, then get the billet.
Right.
I'm going to touch base on the test firing too. I mean, each facility has its own test fire. Even down where we make the daggers, every dagger and rocks, every dagger and rock is test fire before it goes out of the facility. Every single one. So you get people sometimes are like, they get their gun and they're like, this thing's been shot. Yep, it has. Yep. In fact, it has. It's been test fired.
I was down at Radical Firearms. Shout out to you, Radical Firearms. And the guy was in there shooting the guns. And I go, what a cool job. And he looked at me and he goes, you think so?
No.
He goes, I do this every single day, hundreds of rifles a day with no scope, no optic, 5 rounds each. It loses its luster after about a week. I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Here's something that Steven, shout out to Steven, our pistol operations manager. What he did was, because there's so much turnover with people who, with just like you're talking about, folks who do nothing but test fire all day, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. He switches it out. All their employees, they do 4 days of assembly and then 1 day a week of test fire. Ooh, that way nobody gets burnt out with test fire. So if any company, I mean, this is probably giving away a secret, but if you do 4 days of assembly and then 1 day of test fire, your employees won't get burnt out and you won't have turnover with test fire because it is monotonous. and it gets old quick.
When you see it, you're like, oh man, that's so cool. And then you're like,
That's
oh yeah, I
miserable.
guess that would suck after a little bit.
No, it's been every single one of the test fire guys. Now the pistol operations guys are a little nicer than us, but the test fire guys where we're at, I mean, every single one of their shirts has like a hole right here from the stocks. Like every single one, every single shirt.
Oh man, sounds like a cool job, but yeah, poor guys. I got C6 Ladez in here. Any last questions for Palmetto State Armory? Just chilling says PSA 5 9mm.
Just go on to the next question.
Are you guys making an AK 5.56 13 14-inch barrel?
Yeah, we have them on the website right now.
Yeah, they're on the website, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so the AK5. So in our terminology, the AK5.56 is what we call the ARC. So that's the one that takes AR mag. So it's got the mag adapter on the bottom. So we have those currently on the website for sale right now in 13.7. The pin and weld. The AK 101, 102 style rock and lock, we don't, because obviously it's a 101, 102. So those are your standard M24 threads. Now we do have some like cool, like, you know, bastardized versions that we're going to be doing that are going to be, you know, more of a hybrid between the two. And those we'll do some cool pin and welds with. But I mean, as of right now, we do have an AK 5.56.
Nice. And Garrett Yankee has a question where you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. What's the deal with barrel nuts on your ARs being tightened down like the Hulk did it? Well, if it was too loose, you'd complain it was too loose. If it's too tight, you complain it's too tight. So
I mean, we use our standard torque wrench on everything. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're having a problem with it, man, hit me up. We'll get you taken care of.
Look at that. That's customer service right there, folks. Can I bring a personal gun to the gathering?
I mean, if you're concealed carrying, sure. And I mean, if concealed carrying is legal, but
yeah, it's not a shoot though for like the public, you know. I mean,
you can't bring your personal gun to demo or to, you know, shoot at a bay. No, but if you're illegally concealed carrying or, you know, in South, I mean, you're fine. Yeah.
Slide effect. Received my Zafari dagger today. Can't wait to pick up something 5.56. Nice. What design software do you guys use? He's just asking because he's an old AutoCAD guy, so he's.
That'd be a question for engineering. Cameron and I don't.
It's SolidWorks.
Okay, there you go.
I have no idea what that means, folks. I don't know. PSA STV 7.6254R. Question mark.
So AKs are going to be obviously, you know, every day we're always like, you know, I do have like a lot of like little things that I do where it's like, hey, we have this gun. We're going to change the barrel length, do the pin and welds, like I was telling you earlier on the 101 and 102s. The next projects are the Crink and then the RPK. Those are the two that we're working on. And so after that, you know, we're going to work on some other stuff, but that's like the next two like unique guns that aren't just hybrids of one that we have out already. So as of right now, those are your next two. I'm not saying the SVD won't be coming, but at the same time, that is the point going forward is those two guns.
Do you guys have any kind of guesstimate on the price point of the RPK?
Probably where we're selling the Romanians at now, probably somewhere close to that, probably about 1,500-1,600 if I was guessing. Don't hold me to it though. I mean, it could be more than that, you know, so I don't want this to come back a year from now and then you guys, you said on Smash Time.
Dang you, Smash Time. Last time I come on there.
Yeah. But I mean, we're going to do RPK in 7.62x39. We're going to do RPK in 5.45, RPK in 5.56, RPK in 5.45, you know, I mean, all the major calibers.
Mark the Highwayman says, I see the CHF 10.5 upper, but will there be a 11.5 or 12.5 in 5.56?
So is this for AKs or for ARs? ARs. I mean, we've tested this out. There's not enough demand for 11.5 inch and 12.5 inch. We have to order in very high quantities from FN in order to get the pricing down. And we did an experiment, you know, over the past couple of years with we bought a bunch of 11.5s and they just did not sell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an 11.5 guy myself, so I would love to, but which as I said, We sell way more 10.5s than we do
Yeah.
11.5. So it's just not, I don't know, juice isn't worth the squeeze per se.
That's
Yeah.
understandable. So
Yeah,
here's
the
a question
demand-
I got yelled at. I didn't ask you guys last time you were on. A 22 dagger.
It'll be eventually. Yep.
Because that seems like a no-brainer.
It is. It's coming.
Oh, and all right. So I know you guys just, oh, hold on. One more question. Joseph Allen, does PSA have a future in a Bolt AR? Have a future in a Bolt AR-15, AR-10, and 308? I don't know what he's trying to ask.
I don't know if he's talking about a bolt gun. I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry, Joseph.
We're
It
not
sounds like a California thing, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, not right now. We're hoping the California thing gets struck down so you guys can enjoy your freedom if that's where you're coming from.
Yeah, that was terrible. Living behind those lines was terrible. Even going back for the week, it was unbearable. So last question. I know you guys have to go. NRA show, you got anything else? One or two tricks up your sleeve for that? Or is it just...
I mean, no, I'm exhausted. It's been a long year already. So, I mean, I think most of the stuff is, I mean, we might have like some different rails and stuff like I did on the Saber line. I only took like 6 different kinds of guns there. So I couldn't show off everything that we were going to do. So we might have different versions of like the Saber there, but mainly everything you see there is going to be more consistent with what you saw at SHOT Show. There's not going to be some groundbreaking stuff we announced at NRA show.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, NRA show, you guys over-delivered for sure. I mean, honestly, you guys had to have been proud. I mean, it was the most popular booth at SHOT, and you guys over-delivered. You crushed it.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about it. Everyone, even after the show, was just talking about PSA. That was like the hot ticket. I think Live Free Armory has a really good budget line of ARs too, but besides them, I didn't really see anything that was great at SHOT.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this year, for the first year, I've been with the company 7 years next month now, so I know Josiah's been here longer, but from what I can remember, this was like the first year that we kind of didn't really show off stuff before we went. We kind of like held a lot of stuff under wraps. So, but I feel like we also kind of brought some new stuff, right? A lot of people are just remaking or doing different tweaks on some of the, what they're currently making. And I feel like we kind of are trying to take it to the next level and pushing the envelope going into 2023. And I feel like people are, recognizing that. And it was cool to see. I mean, Josiah wore me out. I think I did like 100 interviews in 2 days. I was literally in Vegas for 48 hours and I probably did 100 interviews.
Yeah.
I don't really feel bad though, because Josiah, weren't you there an extra week after SHOT Show?
Yeah, I was there for full 2 weeks. I do affiliate marketing, and I had a traditional like Capital One Shopping affiliate summit the week after. It was rough. I was tired.
Dude, that's brutal.
I didn't get COVID though. That was the blessing.
Yeah.
Well, I started doing the IV vitamin IV drips before I travel, and it's changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's like a pre-hangover.
My thing is I want to be exposed to everything so I get it, so I won't get it again. But that's just me.
Right. But you know what, Cameron, you made a good point earlier about standing out from the rest, because there's at SHOT especially, I actually turned down an AR to review, which for me a year ago I would have been like, no, send it to me. But I was like, what am I going to say about it? It was just a kind of a run-of-the-mill AR.
Yep. I'm telling you, 2023, I mean, if you're not pushing the envelope, and we talked about this before we went to SHOT Show, is like, you have to, I don't know. I mean, the firearms industry is, you got to keep pushing, and you got to give the people what they want. You got to give the people what they want at the best value too. I mean, I think that's something that was, cool to see.
Yeah, 2023 is going to be an interesting year for the companies that are just resting on their laurels as far as the AR-15 market. It's we've got my brother, pushing forward with engineering, and coming out with new product. The Dagger, the Rock, all this, the AKs, everything. Now, if we didn't have that, it's we'd be good, but it's some companies are going to really struggle this year. But what's helping us out are these other lines. So it's going to be an interesting year for the people who didn't innovate and come out with new product.
Clayco 47, the PSA booth was the most interesting booth at SHOT. The H&R stuff was the show hotness. Yeah, very cool stuff. Let's see. Mark the Howie says, and this is a comment I get a lot, and I hear a lot. Thank PSA for just being PSA. Thank you for keeping your price very reasonable and allowing everyone that can't afford all these Gucci guns to buy a good guns like that. That whole Saber line for under $1,000, bananas. Those comes with a lot of. I mean, right out of the box, you don't have to change anything on them. They're great. They're ready to run.
That was the goal, is to get them ready to roll. I mean. I don't know. I don't think there's anything out there that you can compare it to. I mean, we tried to get with some of the best vendors on the industry. We saw what people were putting on guns, adding on and doing this. And we're like, hell, let's just come on this journey with us and let's do it together. And, a lot of these guys are really good people, and so it's, kind of the goal is to partner together and take over the world.
Amen to that. Rob Wells has a barbecue question. Do I go to Terry Black's or Franklin's barbecue for a barbecue fix? I do go to Black's Barbecue in Lockhart all the time, and it's about an hour and a half from the house, but I will drive out there on a Saturday just to go eat barbecue and come back. It's a 3.5 hour trip worth every cent of the gas to go out there and get it. But everybody in the chat, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll have links down in the description if you're watching this on replay to all of the PSA websites. And you guys have your own YouTube channel.
We do.
Yep. We'd love to see more on it.
We're working on that. We've hired 2 new people so you'll be seeing a lot more content.
Nice. Well, Josiah, Cameron, thank you guys so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate your time, and I can't wait. The gathering is going to be fun. I cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. And if you guys are local to the area, look it up. Links will be down below to the gathering, PSA, and that is the 24th and 25th of this month, March. Thank you guys so much. Till next time.